Yo, what's going on, Cowboys fans? It's your boy Foots the King here. As always, thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Let some people get in here as always, and we will get started. I'm gonna send this out, see if I can get Vach on. Um, Let me see if I can get a few others on. Um, what a week. Uh, it's interesting when the Cowboys lose. I feel like we've kind of done a better job of not acting like the world is falling, but you know, hopefully people can kind of be okay. I mean, I'm not about to sit here and act like the what's up, fellas? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'm not about it. What's up, Dirk? My guy, man. Dirk, one of my childhood friends, man. My guy. I don't want to sit here and act like the we'll talk about the linebackers for sure. Um, I don't want to act like the world is falling, but it wasn't a good one. I mean, it wasn't a good showing on Sunday versus the Cards, but you got to move forward. You have to move forward, and I think that's what the Cowboys will do. And to be honest with you, like when I watch this Pats game, I think that the Pats will have the Cowboys antennas. It's hard to watch the Cardinals and watch what the Cardinals have done this off season. Um, Yeah, I was gonna talk about that, Donnell. Thank you so much. It's hard to watch the Cardinals and watch what they done this offseason and even watch how they, um, pretty much went about building their team. I mean, I like Josh Dobbs. He's cool, nice guy. Um, but if you're a player in the league and you see, hey, I gotta play Josh Dobbs, the truth of the matter is you gotta you know, you don't you couldn't get up for that game, and it hurt the Cowboys and it bit the Cowboys, and that just is what it is. That being said, I think that this Patriots game you can't take them for granted. I don't think that the Cowboys will, um, and I think that you're playing a good defensive team. Like so, I want to make that clear. Belichick still knows how to take what you want to do away. I think the struggles that I've seen from them uh you know I just like I said, man, I think I really do believe, man, that if you can if you can just get past these little um hurdles, I think that you'll be fine. Hey, shout out to my man King Marquise for the super chat. Let's get to it. Just give me another month, Foots. I'm gonna be your Sky production guy. You getting elevated by any means, man. Much love to you, man. I do want to see Izzy and Chauncey. That's a fact, Marquise. I do. Donnell kind of buried the lead, y'all, but if you guys haven't, Marquise does. Some of y'all do, man. Check out Foots and Coles. That's what the music that I make is like. It's kind of like funk, go-go, vibe, groove, and we got a cool little write-up in the Washington Post, man. That was love, real authentic vibes. Um, it was cool, man. It was really refreshing, man. And honestly, like the only thing that I would need from y'all, man, is just to play the music, just to share the music. Like I'm still a firm believer in like word of mouth is still the best form of promotion, man. I'm telling you, like I'm not trying to be on every billboard. I'm not trying to be, sexy red. I'm cool. Like just want to play good, groovy music that you can sip your little wine to. You can hang out with your friends, all that, man. So, um, check that out. Check out the music, man. And I would really appreciate that, man. Foots and Coles. It's not just Cowboys for me and like sports. And, obviously, some of y'all may know I'm big in the community as far as like coaching youth football, but Like what I really do by trade is like being a drummer and writing songs and working with different artists and preferably touring soon. So it's all love, man. Y'all know what it is. All right, let's talk Pats. Let's talk Cowboys. So to be honest, the Cowboys probably put this behind them after after they got off the plane. Like I'm pretty sure it was behind them. But as fans, what we want to do is overanalyze everything. We want to overanalyze the red zone. We want to overanalyze. We want to overanalyze. And I mean, I don't think that we're wrong for doing that, but there were some things where it was just kind of like, we don't. We shouldn't look too far into it. Let's get to the super chat. Are you worried about our DBs outside of Gilly? We'll get to that one-handed bandit, but the answer is no. Dan Quinn actually mentioned Deron Bland as somebody who played well. So I'm not worried. Like, they'll have to figure it out. They got to play big boy football. But I'm actually more worried and kind of was disgusted with our front in the way that we got leveraged. Now, I think that they know now, hey, that the Pats, they want to run the ball. Like, Ezekiel Elliott, like, those guys want to play that type of football. And so I think they would do themselves a favor by going to the film room this week and actually paying attention and actually having a true plan for their run fit. I think that was one of the things that I really said. That was one of the things that I looked at and said, okay, Dallas just had no plan with their run fit. Dallas had no plan with their linebacker play. Guys weren't filling. And it showed. And so, yeah, Bland was fine to me. I mean, Bland, and now the new thing is what we want to talk about, Gilmore's speed. To me, I thought that Stephon Gilmore didn't look so bad and so slow that it was an issue. I mean, Marquise Brown is a fast guy. I don't think he's a great receiver, but he's a fast guy. And I don't think that it was an issue. I thought that the issue was, if you want to know who looks slow that nobody's talking about, Jaron Kearse didn't look good. Like, nobody's talking about that. On a few of those runs, Kearse out of position, getting blocked, reached, didn't fight off the block, made no open field tackles. And then when it's time to run, him and LVE look like turtles. You guys have said it a bunch, on a run where Michael Wilson wraps through, he smokes Bland, but Bland did a good job of at least filling that gap, right? Bland did a great job of filling that gap. Like, he was in that gap. It's your linebacker's job who, Damone Clark, you guys know how I feel about Damone Clark. I was like, slow down, pump the brakes on Clark. He lets 87 get on him. Okay, cool. And then LVE just, again, looks like a turtle. So he just didn't fill. And like, hey, LVE, that's why you're in the game to fill. If LVE is not going to fill, then put Marquise Bell in the game to fill. Like, so none of those guys played well. Like, the whole linebacker core, second level of the defense, because they let Jaron Kearse do some of that, D-. Like, that's just a fact. Yeah, Donnell, that play was like, that almost looked like, dog, is this rigged? He literally just walked right past the guy and just didn't touch him. I'm like, what was that? So that was interesting to say the least. So yeah, like, hey, I'm not like, oh yeah, Bland is an upgrade from Diggs. That's not the case at all. But to sit here and say and to act like Bland was the problem was the front half of your defense. And that's why this game, I want to see Chauncey Golston playing football. I don't care where. I don't care if Micah comes off the field on early downs. I'm making this very clear. I want to see Chauncey Golston on the football field because he has a feel when it comes to playing the run. He just knows what he's doing. He presses well. He stacks. He doesn't just fly field. He uses his hands. He's not like the rest of these ends who just want sacks, sacks, sacks. Sacks are good. It's almost like a quarterback who's just big play chasing. It's what gets Josh Allen in trouble. Sacks are amazing, right? But the problem is when you're playing a team who knows you're trying to get sacks and they have a scheme for it, and they're just going to get the ball out quicker, do things to stress you out, boom, you're dead. So, like, that is one of the answers for me in the run game. I also want to see more Mozzie Smith on early downs. I would like to see more Mozzie Smith on early downs. I think that Mozzie didn't play bad. Obviously, right now, the comparison is going to be him and Jalen Carter. I still think that he can be better than Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is getting a lot of pressures. Cool. Great. He's getting a lot of pressures. He has a sack and a half. That's awesome. But, like, give it time, and you'll look at Mozzie and say, I'm glad that he's a part of his defense. Watch what I tell you. So that is, kind of like my thoughts. Now, when you look at the Patriots and their personnel, obviously Mac Jones is a quarterback that, they scored 15 points against the Jets. They did tear Philly's secondary up and really had a chance to win. But, outside of you'll be hard pressed to find like a guy on their roster right now that just scares you on the edge. And that kind of like scares me because the truth is I don't know if this team is mature enough and at this juncture to go in and beat a team that they're supposed to beat. You want them to, but I don't know. Like Juju Smith-Schuster is not a great receiver, but he's going to find space. He's going to find areas. Devontae Parker is not a great receiver, but he can win if you let him. And then Kendrick Bourne, I like Kendrick Bourne. He's not great, but I like him. And so when it comes to this offense, I think Cole Strange is somebody that you could take advantage of. I do think that you could take advantage of the right tackle. Trent Brown isn't bad. But I think that this is going to be a linebacker safety game. What's up, everybody? What's up, Jim? What's up, Aaron King? I'm not delusional, Aaron King. Thanks for watching, though, bro. I appreciate you. You must be a Philly fan because I'm delusional. Shout out to you. Shout out to One Hand Bandit. Shout out to John. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Let's get the numbers up. Make sure you guys like. Pound the like button. Thank you so much. So talking about their offense, I just believe that this is another game where Dallas has the better team. Dallas has the better D-line than the Pats have offensive line. But if they come out there and they play down or they don't play solid in their run fit and they don't take their right angles and they don't play blocks, I don't think that we play. I think what's going unsaid is that we did not play blocks well at all. Jaron Curse on a few of those big runs, he's getting blocked badly. Our D-line getting washed down. That's not playing the block well. You have to press those blocks. You can't just knife through the gap. Some of that stuff is what Rob Marinelli wanted to do all the time. Hey, just knife through, just run as fast as you can through the gap. And what happens is that you create run lanes that way. So I just really believe that, I think that this game is going to be about because you'll get sacks on Mac Jones. He will stare down the barrel and he will throw it, right? But I think that your rush with 4 with D-Law, because D-Law did get a plus grade from me this last game. Your rush with 4 with D-Law will be good enough to get home versus Mac Jones. Breaking news. It's to me, it's going to be how well to me it's going to be is how well do you deal with Hunter Henry, because he's really good, and how well do you deal with Mike Gesicki, who isn't amazing, but he's a pro and he does nice things. I think if you can handle those two and like have a plan for those two, and J-Ron is the tight end eraser, you have a plan for those two, you win this football game. Won't be pretty, but you win this football game. You start letting them get up the seams and do certain things, and Bill O'Brien starts scheming you and getting you out of sorts, you'll be in trouble. So their offense, I mean, like there's not much to it. They're gonna run downhill, gap scheme. They run weak. They'll overload you one way, then they'll run weak. So I just think that defensively, like I want to start with this defense because I think that this defense actually played worse than the offense last week. I know everybody's talking about this red zone situation, but the defense played worse than the offense. And I like what JS is saying. Let's get this on the screen. Hey, listen, I love Curse. I love Bell. I love Curse. I love those guys. But if they're not going to get it done, then give me somebody who can. Give me somebody who's going to play his keys correctly and fly downfield and be physical. Get me Y.A. Thomas. Get me Bell. Get me Izzy. Get me guys who are going to come downhill, be the size that they are, because those guys are big dudes, right? Tall guys. Okay, if you got LVE who looks like a lineman in the middle of the field, get him out the game. Get somebody who can run in the game. Give me Devin Harper. So I just think that those are the things that I want to see from the Cowboys on the defensive side of the ball. They're not going to panic, but like you're not going to have another 28-point game and somebody not have to answer for it. So I do believe that that's the facts. You're not going to have another 28-point game. And Dallas didn't have any devastating turnovers. I mean, obviously, the turnover late hurt, but I mean, I think that was just Dak pressing and trying to make a play and just didn't work out. And this is why you guys who've been with me, you guys who are with me know that I said DeMarvion Overshown would be on the field over these linebackers. I stamped that. And there were other people out here who, no, give Clark a chance. I like Damone Clark. I just don't see it. He doesn't key. I never see him make a tackle for loss. I never see him trigger and go. That's my eye. I don't see it. But Overshown, dog, in the preseason game, when I saw him smoke Tank Bigsby, let's go. Let's roll. Like, hey, he done found his way. So let's get to this offense. Guys, I'm not going to spend too much time on the red zone woes. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't think that the red zone is as big of a problem as the Cowboys calling an offense to protect Dak. I think that's what they're doing right now, and I don't think that that is smart. I want to make myself very, very clear. I think that they're calling the offense to protect Dak and to protect themselves from interceptions. Can't do it. No middle of the field shots, no hole shots, everything quick. Man, let Dak play football. He's never been a high percentage interception guy. I do like the timing of the offense, but there were times where it's like, dog, where are the explosives? We had no explosives last game. None. You don't want to start playing that game with being too conservative. Take a shot. And I don't think that the Cowboys did a good job of that, and it showed. And with Gannon's defense, again, middle of the field open, middle of the field closed, he's gonna hang his safeties on the roof, and he's gonna say, "Hey, beat me underneath." And I think that works if you can think, and then do what? Get touchdowns. Dallas, think. You're playing from behind, think. And then it's field goals, and they were still scoring in and hurting your defense. Your defense wasn't getting stops when they needed to. Is what it is. So another big thing is something that I called for, and I wrote about this on Twitter. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I want to see more Hunter Lupke. And I want to see more Hunter Lupke over some of these tight ends. I like him. I just think Lupke is a better playmaker. I want to see more designs for him. Um, I don't want to see. Um, I don't know. I don't know right now with Fergie. Like, and it bothers me because I really like Jake Ferguson, but I just don't know. Like, think he's good, but there's times that I do miss Dalton Schultz, and you guys know I'm a Schultz guy. But there's times when I miss Dalton Schultz. Like, it's times that I'm like, man, we just don't have somebody who could just find grass or just get up the seams and just be like a tall body because they're not playing big. So, like, there are times that I miss Dalton Schultz. Um, and so to me, you know, when I think about those things in this offense, I think this game plan to me, they do have a good rookie at corner. Christian Gonzalez is really good, and they also have a really good play caller in Bill Belichick and his son. And, the way they use Jabril Peppers is awesome. The way they use Kyle Duggar is awesome. Like, Bill does this at a high level still. That being said, I like Christian Gonzalez, but I want to try him. I want CeeDee Lamb to get going again. You got Michael Gallup going, so you know that, because I was ready to push Michael Gallup off the roster, and that probably wasn't the right way to go about things. But I wasn't happy. And then he had the game that he had, and I said, okay, MG, and they got some rhythm going. Cool. Now this is a Cooks and CD game to me, because I don't trust the tight ends right now. I don't trust them to be consistent because they've given me no reason for me to trust them to be consistent. So I don't trust them. So offensively, CD, Cooks, Schultz, like, that's what I want to see. I mean, CD, Cooks, Schultz, CD, Cooks, Lukey. Tony Pollard had a good game last week, but the run game to me is just going to depend on who's out there. That's why I'm not too worried about the the offensive line. I mean, excuse me, the run game in the red zone, because I mean, when you got backups, you're just not gonna punch it in there, even against Arizona. When you got backups, not in the red area, and then you try that this week, it's definitely not gonna work. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. You're not punching it in there against this New England defensive line. They're not great, but they're pretty good, right? Like, Judon is a player. Lawrence Guy is a guy. Keon White, the rookie. I mean, they got some players, and so, like Jawan Bentley at linebacker isn't bad. So I just think that, like, they're gonna be a sound defense. Like, they're probably gonna finish a top 10 defense. So this will be another test, and that's why I say, okay, this is a get right game. Let's see, can you get right? Let's see, can you do some of the things that you weren't able to do last game? Can you put a drive together? Now, you did have a good answering drive, but, like, that was it. And I know that this Cowboys offense is better than that. Now, it's still early, so you're not who you want to be right now. And so I just believe that. All right, let's get to some questions, then I'm gonna get out of here, y'all, because I don't want to dwell on some of the bad. I think that we are gonna play good football, and I think that we'll win this game. Foots, this is a good question. Let's get to Ryan Compton here. Foots, do you feel like Mike is calling a limited playbook? Do you believe personnel is the reason? I don't feel like it's personnel, and I think it's him and Dak are trying. They look like they're calling offense not to throw interceptions. That's really the only way I can say it, Ryan. Now you listen to Dak in the post game. He said maybe he needs to run more, maybe he needs to do certain things. So he's aware of some of this stuff. But I also want him to understand, like, yo, you don't like play football, bro. I watched Josh Allen go out there the first game and play like Dookie and lose to the Jets. He's still playing Josh Allen football. Sometimes we get on Twitter and we start doing some of this stuff and listening to some of this stuff, then we change who we are. Like Dak takes chances. That's what he does. Take those chances, bro. You throwing to Cooks and CD this year. Don't like you were throwing to Noah Brown, so I'm not mad at that. But take those chances. Like play Dak Prescott football and we'll be fine. And so I don't think that Mike is calling a limited playbook. I just think that I don't think that he was calling a limited playbook. I just think that they're both in their head. And the faster that they realize that and just own it and say, nah, we need to just play football and do our thing, the faster that will be better. So, what's up, April? How you doing? So it is what it is. Jim Laws asked a good question. Why was he blaming the media? Because all these players look at Instagram, Twitter, ESPN. They can't help it. And that's okay. You just got to have a strong enough mind to move forward from it. Like, people got to understand, Tom Brady lived off dinking and dunking. And then he was trusting the middle of the field. So, all right, y'all. It's your boy Foots, man. I think the Cowboys win. I think that we'll be fine. This wasn't a long one here because I got to get ready for a rehearsal. If you guys didn't, man, check out the link on my Twitter and on IG and Facebook and all those places that you guys follow me, man. I got a cool write-up from the Washington Post, so that means a lot to me. If you guys haven't, follow me on these places, IG, follow the music page here. I think the Cowboys are going to be fine. I don't think that we have to stress. I may get back on tomorrow night and go live and talk about our defense and do some things. But, man, I really, really appreciate you. Oh, cool. Got a super chat set. Play off topic ever heard. I'm so happy. I haven't, but I'll listen to that track as soon as I get off. Much love, man. I appreciate you guys as always. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Don't stress, y'all. I really believe that Dallas will be fine. I'll come back live tomorrow. We'll talk more ball. Peace.